actually means to our economy. So apparently, not apparently, as a matter of fact, the World Bank has disclosed that it's giving Kenya 12 billion US dollars over the next 3 years. And then IMF have also announced that are going to give Kenya 4.43 billion in dollars. Starting from November, we're going to access $682 million. What does this mean to our economy that is so battered? This 5.4% Dungo is talking about, I'm just like, are you serious? Are you guys, what does it mean? Let's start with you.
Is this the reason why we saw the president running around earlier this year?
Yeah.
Or to get this solidified? So can I say?
I've always said, this country sometimes, it shocks me the way
that's where we drink a little, right? To better absorb.
Surely. How can you sit down and think that you wake up every morning and hold a cup on your hand and go and borrow? This country has been taken over by World Bank and IMF. The first budget which Kenya Kwanza government wrote was not written by Kenyans. It was written by IMF and World Bank. Now, World Bank is managing the affairs of a nation. And you know what happens? When the World Bank, you welcome World Bank to run your affairs and your country, you'll go back to what the 90s, the African nations went. Ghana, structural adjustment programs.
Yes.
Nigeria, same problems. Kenya is looking forward to a very, very bleak future. Because now you're borrowing this money, yet you should have restructured your loans. These loans which you are paying, you do not know how much you've borrowed. You don't have your loan register. You don't know the amount of money you owe as a country. There are loans you borrowed which you are not reimbursed to you, but you paid the processing fee. So we are in a mess. And this mess, we are trying to solve this mess by getting into a deeper mess. In a nutshell, it's like digging a hole and filling with another. You dig hole and you try to fill it from another hole. So you dig a deeper hole. So we are digging a deeper hole in economy and filling the one which is shallow.
Here's the thing. Something even you mentioned when it comes to even the government even paying back of the loans here's a critical thing. We don't know, they do. It's not previewed to us. This information that's not previewed to us.
Even them, they don't know.
You're saying we don't. I don't think our government is that incompetent. No. Here's what I mean. There is someone. Here's the thing. Okay. There are people within. You acquired a certain thing, and you're not given access to that information. And now you actually know this is literally what we're indebted to, and this is literally the interest that we actually now need to pay back, and these are the terms and conditions of the payment. Hence why we need to now pressurize Kenyans in order to pay back these terms and conditions that we had from the previous thing. We're just not previewed as Kenyans to the figures. Yes, of course, even you're saying like how much have we paid back, how much have we gotten back, and all those things. I don't know why we have not been made public with that information. And here's the reason why I'm giving the government a slight benefit of the doubt in this way. We're not privy to that information. Someone knows. Not nobody knows.
Listen.
Nobody knows.
Simon, where is your debt register? Is it in the Ministry of, in Treasury? It is not there. The Controller of Budget said in National Bombers talks the other day that we don't know. The government does not know. I'm
where
not
the
quoting
debt
myself.
register is.
Well, here's the thing.
They don't know where
she
the
doesn't know.
So why don't we say stop everything?
No, she doesn't even know how
Debt
salary, like
register.
why it's between times 3.
Okay.
There's a lot of things that she does not know.
She doesn't know the debt register or the amount
That we don't know how much we are busy paying for loans
We are paying for
that we
things
didn't
don't
even
know.
get.
There's
no debt register.
All right, now here's my point.
we need to have the debt register.
All right, here's my point.
Yes.
With now the restructure, because he got now another batch for the next 3 years. He was like very happy because he apparently has the president, very happy because now he has been given now cash to actually now allocate to now the projects that whatever he deems fit for his government, Kenya Kwanza, all his plans and everything. Here's the thing. I'm sure even with the terms and conditions of this new loan that is acquired, I'm sure they're different, but we're not privy to that information. And we're assuming the worst, of course, because we're biased against the government. We're like, the way you guys have been rolling, we are not seeing this well. But with the way he's actually been able to acquire a big chunk of loan, this is now technically supposed to circulate within now the Kenyan ecosystem as we see right now. And eventually it's supposed to now make our lives, quote unquote, a bit more livable and easier. Because now it's supposed to be put into government projects and subsidy programs and so many other things that, of course, will facilitate, quote unquote, our livelihoods. That's what technically, by the book, is supposed to be done for the betterment of the Kenyan citizen as a whole. Now, with the requirement of this loan, I don't see it as a holistic bad thing, because I think we've even been in a worse scenario if we're always looking inward for money. And guess what that means? More pressure on you and you and you on your pockets to acquire that. So if we're getting some breathing space for them to execute that, and us we now get our now we can actually breathe out of this, all these taxes that are pressurizing us, we can finally now be able to take a step forward. Now you'll be able to acquire that new thing that you actually wanted. Maybe be able to acquire, now get more pockets. And that sort of thing. I'm thinking that can be actually a good thing long term. Let's say next year this
if
time.
it's gonna lower the dollar,
you're
the
assuming
euro.
too many things.
And you're assuming some things yourself. Don't say I'm not assuming myself. You're assuming some things.
How do you know
I'm assuming it on the other side. I'm giving a different perspective.
Who walks into Kenya,
Stop living in assumption.
someone who walks into Kenya today, like someone who comes into Kenya today and sees how our lives have gone, like everything has increased in price, they will think it's because we are not getting loans, or it's because we are now funding our own budget.
It becomes Zimbabwe.
Because everything else has gone high, so we are funding our budget. But we are funding our budget, and then we are getting the good news of loans, of which is not even going to make life easier.
Actually, Maria, this loan is to pay the euro bond. This loan is paying.
The
That's
euro
what I'm
bond.
saying. Yeah, you're paying the euro bond, which is due next
Where
month.
did the
Next
euro bond
month,
money
yes.
go to?
Where
Wow.
did it go to?
This money World Bank is giving you is just to show you, because you're supposed to, you owe this other data, and this data, his debt is due. So he tells you, because you cannot pay this guy right now, you don't have money, let me give you money to pay this guy so that you'll pay me in 3 years. That's what has happened. That does not change your situation of life. You understand? Because you're still as poor as you are.
Even worse.
But you're also assuming that where would this money have come from? Where would this money have come from? If not, because we still would have had to pay. But it should have come from your pockets and our pockets and yours.
The government had said, and I quote the government, had said that they had, and if you listen to our president, he said 2 months ago that they had put a policy or a structure where they were ready to pay for this money, isn't it? He had said that they were ready to pay. Secondly, when you cannot meet your obligations as a country, it's the same as a human being. You can go to the bank and renegotiate and restructure your loans. There's always that window.
But that comes at a cost.
It
Even
doesn't-
at the banks.
it's okay, but you are a nation. You collect money every day, Simon.
Yeah.
This is government. This is not an individual. We collect at least 10, 15 billion every day.
I see what you're saying. With all this pressure and everything, so let's take a break.
Yeah.
I just